So the next step is trying to add more seams to our 3D model. We can always go back and add more seams to our mesh. This means we can try different seams and see how they are up. So let's add another seam to our stem as shown here. Just zoom out like this. Now for this we need to be in edge select mode. With your mouse pointer over the viewport, press 2 to enable edge select mode like this. So let's select an edge. From the top of the stem right to the bottom of the stem. You can either hold the shift key while clicking the edges, or an easier way is to click the top edge to select it and then hold the control key and click the bottom edge to select all the edges in between. So let's go over here. I'm gonna be using this method. Select the first edge as shown in our example. Hover your mouse cursor over this edge like this. Then I'm gonna be holding down the shift key. Then go I'm gonna be using the control key. Just hover your mouse cursor over this edge, then go to the edge next to the bottom, at the same line, and click on the left mouse button. It's gonna be selecting all the edges at this loop. So this time I'm going to go to show with this edges selected. Right click in 3D viewport editor like this. It's gonna be showing this pop-up menu. Then this time I'm going to mark seam also, as I have done in previous minutes. So like this, mark seam. It's gonna be marking seam from the drop down menu. This will mark selected edges as seams. So the next step, what is the next step? The next step is unwrapping the stem. We're going to only unwrap the stem part of our mesh. To do this, we need to select all the faces around the stem with your mouse over 3D viewport editor. Press 3 to enter face mode like this. Now press 1 on the numpad to change the front view. Hit 1 and you are in the front view as shown in our example. Click and drag a box around the edges of the stem as shown here. So let me show you step by step, or just to select them. Note that we are only selecting the faces visible to us. We need to ensure that we are selecting all the faces around the stem. I have also another method to select all the faces of the stem. So hold down Alt, for the faces that I have selected at the top over there like this. Just holding down Alt, then Shift at the same time and select all faces to this edge like this. Then hit 1 for the front view. Then so we should switch to wireframe mode as shown in our example, and using select box like this and dragging to select all the faces as shown in our example. Switch to solid mode like this. Then the next step. So next step is press 3 or 9, like this, 3 for the side view, the right and left sides of the model, and box select those faces. Just I use it very easy method. We don't need to rotate it again and again and select from different sides. Then this time, just right click in 3D viewport editor and select UV unwrap. Unwrap, then unwrap to unwrap the stem section. Hit unwrap. It's gonna be making this grid over here, over there, and going to unwrap just the faces that we have selected. Notice how the UV map has changed in the UV editor as shown in our example over there. So how to optimize the UV layout? Let's take a moment to see how we can optimize the layout of our UV map in the UV editor. Hover your mouse pointer over the UV editor, and with the stem faces still selected, press G and move. Hit A. It's going to be selecting all the faces. Hover your mouse pointer over the UV editor, and with the stem faces still selected, press G and move this UV island away from the other UV islands. So we can have a better view of our UV map. Just you can scale it like this, then grab it like this. To select everything. So let's define what is UV island. We have here in the UV editor, UV island is a set of group of faces that are connected in the UV space, but also not connected to any other section of the UV map, just like a real island. Always ensure that islands are not overlapping, as I have created in our example. Overlapping UV islands will cause problems when adding material assets to our mesh later. The next step is to show you some other important features and what you have to do in order to unwrap correctly. With all the UV islands selected, click the UV drop-down menu at the top of the UV editor and click Average Island Scale. This method, as shown here, going to average out the scale of the different UV islands. You may need to scale all the UV islands to fit into the UV layout. So click on it. Like this, with all the UV islands still selected, click the UV drop down menu again and hit A. Then go over here, average. With all the UV islands still selected, click the UV drop down menu like this again and click Pack Islands like this. This will ensure that all the UV islands are within the UV space and that they do not overlap each other as shown in our example here. Feel free to manually move some of the UV islands and do whatever you want, and you should do some settings. To use the UV space but UV island, hover your mouse pointer over UV island like this, and you should press L. It's gonna be selecting the UV island. So then press G to move, hit G, then move it like this in this space. you want to move it as you want. And that's it for this tutorial of UV unwrapping a mushroom. Thanks for watching.